Aloha yogis, thank you for joining me today in this practice and bringing your practice with mine and sharing that time. If you enjoy this channel, please do not forget to subscribe at the bottom of the screen and spread the word to anybody you think might benefit from these classes. So today it's really about letting ourselves flow and feel the power and the strength that we have, using breath and using movement with our breath in order to move through the challenges and through our edge. So what I'll have you do right now is just sit in a comfortable seat and bring your hands onto your thighs. Roll your shoulders back and down, and we'll just land on our mat here. We're just going to center ourselves and just let go for a second. Notice how you feel in your body, just sitting still. Noticing how your palms feel when they're open towards the sky. And if you're outside, maybe notice the wind, the breeze, the sounds around you. And maybe whatever it is that you hear, you can just let it flow by. It might be bothersome to you, but when you're in a place of peace and of focus, pretty much anything can be going on around you, and you're still in a state of peace. It's almost as if nothing can really bother you. Nothing can get through that bubble and that peaceful state of mind and body that you've created for yourself. As you inhale through the belly and up the chest, notice how it feels to just concentrate on the breathing. And as you exhale, bring the breath down past the chest and then out through the belly. We'll do 5 cycles of breath here to really open ourselves up. Deep inhale through the belly, all the way up the chest. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then exhale all the way down. Again, inhale through the belly, all the way up the chest. And open mouth and sigh it out. Again. Again. One more time. Maybe you notice that your breath is just very shallow or higher up in the chest, and you're having a hard time breathing deeply through the belly. Throughout your practice, try and concentrate on where your breathing is. And if you can expand your breath to give yourself space internally. Let's do a few cycles with our shoulders, rolling our shoulders back and down. Big circles. Good. And then switch directions, rolling your shoulders forward and back. Perfect. Raise your arms overhead, look up. And exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, raise your arms overhead, look up. Reach out of your hips and exhale, hands to heart. Good. One more time. Big inhale. And a nice exhale as you draw your hands to your chest. Slowly come onto your hands and your knees. Sit onto your heels. Flip your hands back so that your fingers point towards your knees. Okay. And at this point, it's really about feeling our wrists stretch. So you can come off of your heels and then slowly sit yourself back down on your heels, noticing how it feels in your inner wrists. When you're stretching, press all those fingers and those knuckles down into your mat and just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Now that left hand, peel it off of the mat, flip it on its front, still your fingers pointing towards your knee, your left knee, and then send your weight back slightly. You'll feel a nice stretch in the front of your hand and your wrist, the outer wrist. Still maintaining that right hand in the same position. And then flip that palm back to where it was. And then do the other hand. Flip that right hand onto the top. Still the fingers pointing towards the right knee. Straighten those arms. Inhale. And exhale, send your weight back slightly. You can even rock yourself side to side. Allowing our wrists here to stretch. Come off of your hands, shake your wrists, roll them, big circles with your wrists. And then bring your hands back on your mat, on your knees hip width apart, and just sway yourself side to side here. Fingers pointing sideways. Still your arms and your wrists below your shoulders. Good. And we're going to go into a little bit of a toe stretch here to concentrate on our toes. Tuck the toes. Take the little pinky and bring it forward if it needs help. And then sit on your heels. You can use a block here if you want to ease yourself into this, but we'll be here for a couple of minutes. And allowing ourselves the chance to ease ourselves into this toe stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. And then exhale, bring them back behind you, interlace the fingers, and press the top of the hands down towards your mat. As you open up the heart towards the front of the room. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. And exhale again, flip the palms down, reach them behind you, interlace the fingers, and then reach away from you, shoulders down and away from your ears. Deep inhale, opening the chest and the belly. And exhale. Bring your arms overhead, reach as you inhale, and exhale. Take that right hand between your shoulder blades, take that left hand, place it on your elbow, and just slightly tug your elbow towards the left. For a nice side stretch onto your right side, reaching all the way from the elbow down into your armpit, the sides, the lats, the ribs, maybe even Maybe even tilt your torso towards the left slightly. Come back to center. Inhale your arms up and exhale, do the other side. You can look up, look sideways, whatever it is that you need. Again, notice your toes. Breathe there. Come back to center. Inhale your arms up and exhale them down onto your mat. Untuck the toes. And then tap, 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 tap the top of your toes down into your mat just to loosen up your toes. Then squeeze your toes and then spread them wide open. Squeeze them again. And then rotate, as you're on your knees, rotate your ankles in opposite directions, and then we'll switch sides. Big circles. And then switch the circle direction, whatever direction they were doing. Keep breathing. Relax your jaw. Relax your face. Good. Come back onto your heels, and this time, as you sit on your heels, send your weight back behind you with your hands slightly behind your hips, fingers on your mat, and then raise the calves, raise the shins and the knees off of the mat. We're doing a counter stretch here, stretching the front of the feet, the top of the feet. So just hold it here. You can start by easing your way into this. It doesn't have to be drastic. As long as you start feeling that stretch happening, that also stretches all the way in the front of your shin into the knee. You might feel it also in the back of your ankle. Just go back and forth here, stretching and breathing. If you're at that level, you may want to lift your chest up towards the sky and draw your hands to your chest in this posture. And that's okay as well, whatever it is that you need in order to feel that comfortable stretch in the top of your feet. Listen to your body in this practice. Whenever you need a chance to breathe and take a break because it's too much, then listen to that. If you feel you need to challenge yourself more, then maybe you need to hold a posture more. Maybe you need to flow faster. It's up to you. When you're ready, bring yourself back down onto your knees. Bring your hands forward onto your mat into a tabletop. And start doing big circles with your hips. Rotating them towards the right. Inhale and exhale. Big circles. Take the time here. Take the time to loosen up your hips, to feel yourself in your hips, in your lower back, possibly your inner thighs, and then switch directions here. Good. Start noticing your belly, the strength of your belly and your abdominals in your poses. We'll start tapping into that today. Good. Come back to center. Inhale, bring that leg back, that left leg back behind you onto the ball of the foot and start swaying yourself forward and back. Starting to warm ourselves up here, and then raise that leg above the mat, parallel to the mat. Toes pointing down towards your mat in order to level out your left hip. So what I mean by that is that hip sometimes those hips tend to want to flare out towards the side, but really we want to draw that hip in, tuck it in, hug that midline and squeeze towards the midline. Not only with your thighs and your glute, but with your abdominals as well. You want to strengthen that middle that middle part of your body and that core that protects you from injury. And then reach that right arm forward as well. Inhale and exhale, hold it here. Good. Strong posture here. Feel that those abdominals working here. Draw the belly button into the spine. Press out of that hand that's on your mat. Press out of that hand. Solid middle body. And then exhale, draw the left knee in towards your side and your right elbow in towards your side, like a fire hydrant. Inhale, reach as if somebody's pulling you apart. Exhale, bend. We'll do that 10 more times on this side. Strong abdominals. Good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it here. And then we'll pulse that back leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it back down. Good. Inhale, draw that right leg behind you onto the ball of the foot. Sway forward and back with your breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, raise that leg off of the mat, parallel to the mat. Point those toes down towards your mat. Squeeze everything into the midline. Squeeze your inner thighs and the right glute, that inner part of that glute. Squeeze everything in. And then reach that left arm forward. Good. Relax the neck. Look down to your mat. Inhale, reach in opposite directions with your leg and your hand, as if somebody's pulling you apart from the center. Deep inhale, and we'll go 10 times, bending the elbow and the knee. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reach and hold it here. And we'll pulse that back leg up for 5, 4, squeeze, 3, 2, 1, and then bring everything back down. Good. Open the knees mat width apart, big toes to touch, sit down towards your heels. Extend the arms forward. Bring your forehead onto your mat. Relax here. Inhale through the belly, expanding the lower back and the ribs. And then exhale, letting everything go. Good. Again, deep inhale. Couple more breaths here. Good. Come back to tabletop. Bring your forearms onto your mat. Interlace your fingers. Send your feet back onto the ball and come into a low plank, a forearm plank here. Make sure your shoulders are in line with your elbows. Elbows, shoulder width apart. Feet can be hip width apart. They could be together. They could be further apart, whatever it is that you need for stability at this point. We're just going to concentrate on staying into a forearm plank for 30 seconds here. So just breathe. Notice the tightening of your abdominals, the tightening of all of your middle part of your body, your torso, feeling the upper shoulder blades, shoulders holding you up, and breathe. Make sure you're not dipping down with your hips like this. or raising them too much, too high. You want a nice, flat, strong board. You're strong. You can do this. Mind over matter. 10 more seconds. Good. Drop your knees down on your mat. Send your weight back onto your heels. Bring your head down on your mat, arms by your side, palms facing up. Inhale and exhale, release. Close your eyes. And let all of that goodness flow through your body. And be proud of yourself for whatever it is that you've done for yourself right now. When you're ready, draw yourself back into a tabletop. Tuck your toes. Bring your hands a little bit forward. Again, it's hip width apart. Your feet at least hip width apart. Your hands wide enough. And then slowly raise your knees off of the mat, sending your hips up towards the sky. And then pressing the heels down towards your mat. You can keep a micro bend in your knees. This is our first downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale. You can pedal your feet or raise both ankles up, both heels up, and then pressing them down into the mat. Reach your tailbone up and away from you as if somebody's grabbing you from the waist and pulling from behind. Feel all the knuckles and the fingers. Spread your fingers apart. Spread your toes. Feel every part of your arms all the way up into your shoulders. Draw your elbows in towards each other. Strong upper back holding you up. Fill the upper back with strength. Draw your belly button towards your spine. And then extend even deeper through the tailbone and out. Feel that nice line you're creating from your fingers all the way to the tailbone. Inhale, both heels up. Exhale, both heels down. Again. Good. Inhale, bend the knees, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Stay in your half lift. Keep your hands either onto your mat, on your shins, or on your upper thighs, not on your knees. And then exhale, fold here. Keep your knees bent. Hold opposite elbows with opposite hands. And gently sway yourself side to side here with your breath. Good. We're going to do a flow sequence, and then we're going to do it again in a faster pace. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a high plank. Lower down, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down, bend the knees, tuck the toes, send your hips back for downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Exhale, plant it between your hands. Lower the back knee. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, lunge. Inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, send your leg back up for three-legged dog, and then send yourself forward, lower down, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Bend the knees, tuck the toes, send your hips back for downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, the left leg behind you. Exhale, step it between the hands, lower the knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, lunge. Inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, tuck the toes, lift the back knee. Inhale, send that left leg back for three-legged dog again. Send yourself forward in high plank, lower down all the way. Inhale, baby cobra or cobra. Shoulders down and away from your ears. Exhale, lower down, bend the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, send your hips back for downward facing dog. We're gonna do this. We'll do this 2 more times with your own pace. Inhale the right leg, step it between the hands, lower the back knee down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, lunge. Good. We'll meet back into downward facing dog whenever you're ready. And then inhale the right leg up behind you, bend the knee, stack the hips. Just stay here. Try and look underneath that left armpit. See if you can see that right heel or even see that right foot. Or really reach that right knee up towards the sky. Draw that right armpit down towards your mat. Good. And then do big circles with that top knee. Big circles. Big, big, big. As much as you can. And then switch directions. Breathe. Good. Come back to three-legged dog. Send that right leg straight out away from you overhead. And then exhale. Send yourself forward into high plank. Lower down one leg. Chaturanga. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then tuck the toes, send your hips back for downward facing dog. A couple of breaths here. Deep breaths. When you're ready, inhale the left leg overhead, pointing those toes down. Draw that hip down as much as you can, that left hip. Bend the knee, stack the hips, meaning that left hip, send it back to go on top of the right hip. Reach that left knee towards the sky. Maybe look underneath that right armpit. And then start making huge circles with that top knee. Try and keep that chest facing down towards your mat. Relax your neck. And breathe. It's so good for you. And then switch directions with your knee.
Try and draw circles in the sky or your ceiling or wherever your space is. Own your space, own your circles. When you're ready, come back to center in your three-legged dog. Reach that leg up high behind you. Squeeze that left glute. Exhale, send yourself into high plank and then lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open up that chest in your upward facing dog. Stay here for 1 second. Feel the top of your feet rooted down into your mat. Lift the kneecaps, legs off of your mat. Send your shoulders back and away from you as you open your heart forward. Try and see if your ears are in line with your shoulders. Breathe. Exhale, tuck the toes, strong legs, and then send your hips back for downward facing dog. Woo, good. Couple of deep breaths here. Let it out. Good. Inhale your right leg up behind you. Reach it high. Exhale, step it between the hands. Flip that left foot onto its side for warrior two. Windmill your hands into a warrior two here. Strong warrior two. In your warrior two, press out of that outer edge of your left foot. Press it down. Bend that front knee, making sure that knee is facing away from the center. So out and away. Make sure you can see your big toe and that your knee is not past your ankle. Feel that center, your abdominals in, your tailbone facing towards the mat. But feel their inner thighs tightening and scissoring. Strong legs are holding you up. Look past your middle finger in the front here. Strong warrior. Your legs have you relax your shoulder blades down your back. You can look in either direction to make sure that your arms are straight. Flip the front palm and then come into a reverse warrior. Deep inhale. You can look up towards your hand or even close your eyes if you feel you can balance. Come back into warrior two arms. Send that right arm down directly onto your mat and send that left arm straight overhead here. Breathe deep into your abdominals. You can look down or you can look up or straight ahead. Good. Come back to warrior two, flip the palm, come into a reverse warrior. Breathe. Windmill your hands forward. Send that leg back behind you for three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Big circles once again with that knee. This time maybe you can look even further underneath your armpit. And then switch the circles of your knee. Good. Come back into warrior three. And then send yourself forward, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Open up the shoulders and the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale that left foot up behind you for three-legged dog. I meant three-legged dog, not warrior three. My mistake. It's the number 3 that repeats, you know? And exhale, send that foot between your hands and then shift that right foot onto the side and then windmill your hands into warrior 2 here. Again, align your heel, your front heel with the arch of your back foot and press into the outer edge of your back foot here.
Strong back leg, and bend that front knee deeper without having that knee pass that leg, that ankle. And then press that knee out and away from the front. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Look forward. Notice where your arms are and just look past the fingertips. Strong warrior. Strong warrior pose. Good. Inhale. Flip that front palm and then come into a reverse warrior, bending that front knee even more. Strong back leg. Feel that pelvis and those glutes squeezing. Good. When you're ready, come back into warrior two arms and then send that left hand down onto your mat, meeting that left foot, and then send that right arm overhead. Look up or down or wherever you need to look. Relax your shoulders. Open your chest towards the side here. Strong back leg. Reach out. When you're ready, push yourself back up slowly into warrior two. Look past your front fingers. Flip the palm and come back into a reverse warrior. When you're ready, windmill your hands forward, frame your front foot, send that leg back into warrior, into three-legged dog. Bend that knee, stack the hips again. And then do big circles with that knee. Good. And then switch directions. Beautiful. Come back into three-legged dog. Send your weight forward into high plank and then lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, heels up. And then exhale your heels down, tailbone up and away from you. Deep inhale and a nice exhale. Good. Send your weight forward into high plank. Flip both heels onto the right side. And bring that right hand directly underneath your shoulder and send your left arm overhead for side plank. Inhale and exhale. Strong side plank. And then we'll come back to center and then do the same thing on the other side. And then we'll flow, come back to center, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your weight forward into high plank. Bring that right hand directly underneath you. Send those right heels, the heels towards the right. Left arm overhead. Stack the heels. And then raise that left leg off into a star. You can even send that arm overhead. You can look towards the front of the mat if that's accessible to you. Really open up. Strong abdominals here, strong glutes, strong top leg. Breathe. Exhale. Keep it up, a couple more breaths. And then bring that left foot down, come back, flow. Good. Inhale, roll yourself into a high plank. Bring that left hand underneath, send those heels towards the left. Raise that right arm overhead, stack the heels. And then when you're ready, raise that top leg off of your mat, off of you, into a star. Hold it. Hold. A few more breaths here. Maybe you want to raise it even higher. And then bring it back down. Turn yourself down and flow. Good. Deep inhale into your downward facing dog. And a nice exhale. Inhale. Raise your heels, bend the knees, hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift again. Reach out of the crown, lengthen the spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown, pressing your shoulders away from your ears and squeezing the shoulder blades. Squeeze them. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, roll yourself back up. Bringing your hands overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. Again, inhale, hands up. And exhale, send your index towards the right. Nice side bend, crescent moon. Come back to center. Inhale, exhale, send your index to the left. Arms away from your ears. Come back to center. Strong abdominals. Exhale, crescent moon to the right. Press out of that left hip, opening that left side as you reach towards the right with your index. Relax your head here. Come back to center and do the same thing on the other side as you exhale. Your feet, they should be together. They can also be hip width apart, but I recommend having them together in this pose. Come back to center. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, raise your hands overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart. We'll come back onto our mat in a seat. When you're ready, extend that left leg out and bring that right foot inside the left thigh. Inhale, arms up, root down into your sit bones. And then exhale, bring that forearm inside of the left thigh or your hand onto your shin. And then reach that right arm overhead. Press that right thigh down into your mat. Activate your legs here. Keep that foot flexed, that left foot. Keep it flexed towards your body. Inhale and exhale. Remember why you're doing this for yourself and how your breathing is doing now. Tap into your breath. Open up the chest towards the side of your mat. Sliding your shoulder blades down your back. Come back to center. And then we'll switch sides here. Send that right foot towards the side. Bring that left foot inside of the right thigh. Inhale, root out of your hips. Send your arms overhead. And then exhale, bring that right forearm inside of that right thigh and reach that left arm overhead. Really trying to open up that chest towards the sky. Relax your neck. Breathe. Notice if you can breathe deeper into your stomach. And when you do that, maybe it expands all of your side muscles here into your hip, to your lower back into the side of your lower back, your obliques. Good. Come back up to center. And we'll open our legs into a wide-legged forward fold here. So open them up as wide as they can go. And then when you're ready, inhale your arms up, extend forward as you exhale, reaching out of your hips, flexing your feet, feeling the inner thighs stretching. You don't have to go very far to feel that. Whenever you're ready, just lower your hands down on your mat. Inhale through the belly and up the chest. Exhale out the chest and out the belly. As you exhale, maybe you can fold a little bit deeper. Keep doing this with your own breath. Feel the heat and the power you've created for yourself in this practice so far. You've allowed yourself the chance to just be in the moment. Make it a mindful effort to focus on yourself. And then completely round yourself down into your fold, relaxing all of your shoulders, your face, your cheekbones, your lips, your jaw, your eyes. Deep breath into the inner thighs and the hips, the groin, and as you exhale, release all the tension in your belly. So nice. And when you're ready, slowly bring yourself back up with your hands. Draw your legs up, bending your knees. Bring your feet mat width apart. And then just sway your legs side to side in a windshield wiping movement here, just to loosen up the lower back and the knees. Good. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly roll ourselves onto our backs. Straighten out your legs and then draw the right knee into your chest as you interlace your fingers around your right shin. Relax your shoulders down on your back. Down on the mat. Exhale. Draw the knee in towards the midline and towards your chest. Keep that left foot flexed, that left foot from the extended leg flexed. To keep that leg activated here. Push out of that heel. Exhale, draw your knee in closer. As you inhale, feel your belly rise and press against your thigh. And as you exhale, gentle release of your belly. Bring that right foot down on your mat. We'll switch sides. Extend that right leg, flex that foot. Exhale, draw that left knee into your chest, in towards the midline of your body. And what I mean by midline, it's that center line, that imaginary line you can see between your eyes, between right in the middle of your lips, going down between your breasts, right through the middle of your belly button, all the way down between your legs. So it's that center line that we have. Send your knee towards that center line as you draw it in towards your chest. It's not a big movement, but it's enough to feel a slight different stretch in your outer thigh and your inner hip. When you're ready, plant that foot back down on your mat. Bring your feet hip width apart or mat width apart. And then sway your knees side to side. Inhale to center. Exhale them to the right slowly. Inhale back to center. Exhale them to the left. Inhale back to center and then drop them to the right, leaving them there. Your hands are into a T. You can either stay there or you can take that right ankle and place it on top of the left thigh to encourage your left thigh to stretch deeper down into the earth. The gravity will pull your right ankle down into your thigh. Deep breath here, expanding the lower back, the belly. And then exhale, release the tension. Beautiful. This is one of my most favorite postures because it stretches the outer thigh, the front outer thigh, which it's also a place that's very difficult to stretch and that we have a hard time with. So it's also a twist, but this is also great for the outer thighs and the knees. If this is too much for your knees, you can stay in the original posture. Unhook that right ankle, draw your knees back to center as you inhale. And then exhale, drop them to the right. Maybe drop them to the left, maybe look towards the right. And then when you're ready, you can hook that left ankle onto the top of the right thigh to draw that right knee down into the earth. Deep inhale, creating space in your lower back, in the side of your hip, your belly. And then exhale, let it out. When you're ready, unhook that left ankle. Draw your knees to center. And then bring both feet together. And then draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug here. Deep breath in through the belly, pressing the belly onto the thighs. And then draw your knees in closer as you exhale.
And then for your final pose, for your second final pose, you can grab the outer edges of your feet or your shins, and we'll come into a happy baby here. So open your legs up, press that tailbone down into your mat. Press those shoulders down. Activate your feet and really draw the thighs down into your mat. You can sway side to side, whatever it is that you need to do. You can open one leg up and then bring it back, and then open the second leg up if your hamstrings allow you to do that. Sometimes my left hamstring is so tight that I have such a hard time opening that left arm hamstring, no matter what it is that I do. So it's good to keep practicing this posture for myself anyhow. Five more cycles of breath here. When you're ready, bring the soles of your feet together. Draw them in closer to you. And then bring your feet back down on your mat. Extend your legs out in front of you for your final pose, your final Shavasana. You can bring your arms overhead if that's comfortable for you. Close your eyes. Deep breath in through the nose and exhale side out. Now's the time to completely let go down into the earth. Allow gravity to pull your weight and your body down. Notice the quality of your breathing now compared to the beginning of the class. Maybe your chest feels more relaxed. Maybe you are able to breathe more deeply down into your belly. Relax your head completely down into your mat. Relax your back, your tailbone, your hips. Your calves, your heels. Release everything. That's all you need, is just to be here now. Nothing else really matters right now. Stay here for as long as you need. Mahalo for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.